Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Everything is Bad new Fangled motion picture show.
Greetings, movie fans. We are back again to review Black Panther. I was waiting. That was your cue to.
Oh, I didn't know I had a cue. You got to tell me these things. Black Panther.
Yeah.
Admittedly late. Black Panther.
Yeah, I was.
Although we saw it opening night.
We did see it opening night. I was gone all weekend though, so
we didn't have a chance to record.
Did not have a chance to record. I'm Niall.
And I'm Nolan.
And yeah, so we're gonna do our usual thing. We do a spoiler-free review, and we give you a fair warning, and then after that we'll go more in depth. And the gloves are off as far as spoilers go.
Yep.
So, let's get right into it. So this movie was pretty good.
Yeah. Not my favorite Marvel movie.
No.
There are at least 3 that I like better than it.
Which, I mean, considering how many Marvel movies there are, that's still a really high ranking.
Yeah, and it is definitely better than some others.
Because all of them are better than
3,
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3, I'm looking at you. Thor 2 also. Although I didn't dislike Thor 2.
Yeah.
But this is better than Thor 2.
It is better than Thor 2.
Anyway. Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's sort of... It's different in that it doesn't follow, like, the same sort of pattern as a lot of superhero movies, as which you sort of expect, because it's just such a different setting.
It's not really an origin story. I mean, they show how the one becomes the Black Panther.
Yeah, in the first 10 minutes of the movie, it's like, here's how one becomes the Black Panther. Then you go watch.
But T'Challa was already Black Panther.
But it's like, here's how T'Challa became Black Panther, or like.
He was already Black Panther.
Well, he didn't have
wasn't
the powers,
king.
Which means he didn't have the powers of the Black Panther yet, because he had to. I mean, it's not really spoiling anything, but there's like that whole sequence with the spiritual trip and stuff right at the beginning.
Yeah, but he already had the powers. But remember when he?
Oh yeah, they have to remove them.
They remove them for the trial.
That's right.
And then they have to give them back to him.
Yeah, but anyway, so it's like here's how someone becomes the Black Panther. Then you watch Civil War and you find out like his first like outing as Black Panther, and then this movie takes place.
Right, and yeah, and then it was a little bit. I've heard people complain they didn't think there was enough action, and there was definitely some action, but it wasn't like one action set piece after the other.
Right,
and
if you look at the Marvel movies, it's only the more recent ones that have had like a lot more characters that have really been that way.
Yeah.
The early, like, go back and watch Iron Man 1. It's not like that.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of action in Iron Man 1. Still great, one of the better ones. But anyway,
it had to be.
Yeah. But this is about T'Challa becoming king. That's really what the movie's about.
Yeah.
He's becoming king and proving that he can rule Wakanda. And so without getting into spoilers, I mean, that's really what the movie is all about. And, it's not that origin story. It's not that saving the world, although, there is some. But it is very different in tone and plot structure from most other Marvel movies, or even just superhero movies in general.
Yeah. That being said about the action, the action sequences that were there were really good.
Yeah, there was some very noticeable CG during some of them, though.
Yeah.
Like, and what I mean by that, it's not like, obviously the spaceship or the hovercraft flying around is CG. I get that. But there's some but it's done well enough that you don't think about it being CG, but every once in a while there'll be, especially when Black Panther is doing some, fighting and acrobatic stuff, you can tell it's CG and not like somebody in a suit on a wire.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a car chase scene that's in the trailer. And when like that scene in the movie was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool flips and fighting going on. It was a really cool scene. But yeah, so I mean the movie was pretty good. We'll get more into it in the spoiler part, but there's a part with an issue with the plot I have about was like maybe 2/3 of the way into that movie, halfway through.
I'm not sure what your issue is, so I couldn't say.
Oh, we were talking about it before we started recording.
Oh, yeah.
The one main issue I had with the movie.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Yeah.
I have another plot related issue.
Yeah.
Different from that
one.
Oh,
different from that. Okay. But yeah, so that's not a real hang up, just something that felt kind of like it could have been handled better is all. But yeah, we'll get more into that in the spoiler part. And is it spoiler to say something that wasn't in the movie?
Like it was in the trailer, but wasn't
in
the movie?
Not something that was in the trailer.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think it kind of is.
All right, well,
in this case, yes. If it's what I think it is.
So, yeah, it's to do with the overall Marvel.
Yeah, okay,
MCU
then yes.
Story.
I think it is a spoiler.
Yeah, so we'll get more into that in the.
My hopes that
in the spoiler part.
This movie will bring more notoriety to Chadwick Boseman.
Oh yeah.
Because he's always been really great in everything he's been in. And I hope people will now recognize that.
Yeah. He was in Marshall, which we also reviewed on here, right?
Yes.
Yep. And it was great.
Right.
That was a great movie, and he was great in it.
Also, the guy he was defending... I can't remember the actor's name. The guy he was defending is in this movie, too. In Marshall.
Yeah.
Sterling K. Brown. That's who that was. Anyway, and then I think we first saw him in like 42. That was the first thing I remember seeing him in.
Yeah, first thing I remember seeing him in.
He was really great in that.
But between that and Get On Up and Marshall, like, dude's been fishing for an Oscar, man. Those are all Oscar bait movies in the
but
extreme.
Marshall is the only one that actually was in theaters during Oscar season.
I know.
The rest were like way too early in the year, and they had no hope of getting remembered.
Well, Get On Up was okay. He was great in it, but the movie was okay. But anyway,
yeah.
Chadwick Boseman is a great actor. So, just smashed the mic there. I mean, all the acting in this movie I think was good. Every now and then Martin Freeman's accent would slip.
Not too bad though.
Just a little bit. You just sort of notice it, you know.
I will say, so Chadwick Boseman looks a lot like the guy that played his father, T'Chaka. Like it looks like a lot like you can see like a similarity. I think I just bumped the mic. You can see a similarity, and so that's like good just casting as far as just appearance of someone looking like the character supposed to be their father. But the girl or woman who played his sister looked absolutely nothing like anyone else in the family.
Yeah.
It was like, guy, okay, just being black isn't enough to make you look like everyone else. Like she just shared no features that resembled anyone else in the family. Like she was adopted or something.
Yeah.
Because Angela Bassett plays his mother. And so you could not like see any child between her and John Connie combining to look like they just didn't look like her.
No.
She was fine, great performance, and she was fine for the role. But like just purely on visuals, I was like, nah, she just doesn't look like she's related to them at all.
Yeah. Yeah, and then as is typical with a Marvel movie, stick around through the end of the credits. There's a thing middle of the credits, and there's a thing at the end of the credits, which they started doing. What? I think they started that with like Age of Ultron, or
maybe. Yeah, I think there were two. No, before Age of Ultron, there were two in Civil War. In Civil War, there was
yeah.
Or not Civil War.
Civil War.
I'm thinking
Avengers.
Second Captain America.
Oh,
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
There were two in Winter Soldier because there's one that set up Civil War and one that set up Age of Ultron, right? Or I don't know. I'm getting all confused. Winter Soldier had the scene though that showed Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, right?
Yes, I think so.
And then there was another one in that one as well.
Yeah,
I believe.
Well, there's also all of them eating in a destroyed restaurant in New York.
Oh, in the first
Avengers one. But anyway, yeah. So the very end one does set up further story. The one in the middle is just kind of like a here's a little thing that's sort of a continuation of the movie you just saw. Yeah, I think that's all I can really say about the movie without spoiling it.
Yeah.
I
mean, you're gonna go see it anyway, so
yeah.
I mean, if you were on the fence, yeah, it's
go see it.
It's pretty good.
All right. So from here forward, there are spoilers.
Right.
So there is no Infinity Stone in this movie.
No
reference to Thanos. No reference other than the death of TChalla, which happens in Civil War. No reference even to the Avengers.
Right.
The greater MCU, really.
Well,
Martin
Freeman, and they reference how they had met in the events of Civil War.
Yeah, so it's like a few references to Civil War, but other than that, no reference to the larger MCU. Which this being the last movie before Infinity War felt kind of strange.
Yeah, well, I just assumed the last stone's gonna be dug up in Infinity War. So that's your plot.
No. Oh yeah, that was my thing. That's not the problem I had.
Oh.
But that is the thing that was not in the movie that I was expecting to be in the movie.
Okay, so what's your problem?
The problem I have is partway through the movie, Andy Serkis's character, Ulysses Claw, gets killed.
No.
And up to that point, he was the villain. It was all about Claw. This Killmonger character was just sort of there,
Well, both of them are classic Black Panther villains.
Right. So they kill off, but Killmonger was just sort of there.
Mm-hmm.
We'd seen Claw before. He was in Age of Ultron.
Briefly.
Yeah, but he was in it. And, for the first half of the movie, he's the main antagonist. And then they kill him off partway through. And there's several minutes there where you're just sort of who's the main bad guy now? Because Killmonger, up to this point, wasn't really a major threat.
Well, I had assumed... I didn't know it was Killmonger, but I had assumed because Killmonger's the one who did kill him, that he'd be the main bad guy. Obviously.
Well, yeah, but it's
we don't know why at that point.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it felt weird, because it's alright, Claw's dead, the whole point of the movie so far is taken care of.
So that kind of, alright, mentioning of Claw, goes into my problem with it, and is that T'Challa has this buddy, Wakabi. I have to look up the names. And he's head of the tribe, because Wakanda's made up 4 or 5 tribes or something like that, right?
5 tribes.
And he's head of the tribe that's basically in charge of defending Wakanda. So he leads these border guard, right? And that reminds me of something else. It's not really a problem per se, but anyway. And so Claw had killed his parents or something in a raid.
Yep.
He stole some vibranium.
Yep.
and so he wants Claw dead. So, T'Challa has Claw, and then Killmonger steals Claw away from him, and then kills him and brings him to this guy, right? So the fact that Killmonger brings the body of Claw to W'Kabi is enough to earn his undying loyalty away from the man that he grew up with, has been friends with his whole life, and they had like this brotherly relationship just based on, you can tell based on the way they interacted with each other before that.
T'Challa confiding in him some
and then, you know, right, they were close. Yeah. And it was enough it was enough that he would support Killmonger over T'Challa, even to the point of killing his countrymen.
Yeah.
I just did not see that transformation as plausible. He had no qualms, apparently. It wasn't like, well, I gotta go along with him, this guy is now my king, which was the case with the Royal Guard woman.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that. He was like just hellbent on, and then he was like trying to kill T'Challa. It's like I did not buy his sudden change in character.
Yeah, I could see that.
I did not buy it.
Also, that also reminds me, something else that I had a slight issue with is, why was Killmonger even hanging out with Claw? He knew where Wakanda was.
Maybe he knew all along he was going to use Claw as a way to get in. Like, he's like, here's Claw.
But if he just went to Wakanda, you know...
and pulled down his lower lip?
Pulled down his lower lip with the War Dog tattoo and showed that ring... That's all it would have taken.
Yeah, that's true. They would have just let him in, like, oh,
taken.
He's got that lower lip thing. Okay, he's Wakandan.
Like, his motivation for being with Claw in the first place is unclear.
Yeah.
Unless he just also wanted the money from stealing the vibranium, I guess.
No, because didn't he still have the vibranium?
Well, yeah, but he was, you know, he was expecting his cut. It wasn't that they hadn't tried to sell it yet. Claude tried to sell it in Korea.
Right. Yeah, that's true. They could have. His plan was overly complicated.
Yeah. I just don't understand why he couldn't have just gone to Wakanda. Because once he kills Claw, he just goes to Wakanda.
It's established he's like this special forces, black ops, U.S. trained, deep cover operative. He probably would have gone for the simplest, quickest way in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, the other thing I want to bring up is, so Wakanda, most advanced country in the world, they got like this shield protecting from the world, but all the advanced technology is in this city. Everyone in the outlying regions are living in grass huts. Like, guys, there's still like this social economic strata, apparently.
Yeah.
You know, there's the city dwellers, and then there's the hut dwellers. Everywhere else in Wakanda, there's only the one city, apparently, from what we've seen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't really get the opportunity to see much outside of that city, other than that village that is on the border.
Yeah, well, I understand like the village, I guess, being like camouflaged as because the outsiders can apparently just walk up to it, but it's like you see other like areas, and it's like
yeah,
come
on. Also, the meteor that carried the vibranium to Earth, were it that size, it would have been an extinction level event.
Yeah, like if it were the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs, then I'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It just landed in Africa, and everyone started fighting over it all. You know.
So. Also, if it's the strongest metal in the world, how do they mine it? Questions like that, though, aren't what concern me in comic book movies. But
Maybe it's only the strongest metal once you refine it down.
maybe
You can take out all the impurities. Or maybe it's an alloy. Maybe once you like combine it with something else, then it becomes the strongest metal.
I don't know. All right.
But also, it's not just metal, Niall. It's also a source of energy.
Yeah,
Apparently, it does everything.
it does.
Like, why are we mining unobtainium when we got vibranium right here? It does everything we needed to do.
Because vibranium doesn't exist in the world of Avatar.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So let's see here. So what comes out? Anyway, but yeah, go see the movie. You're gonna see it anyway. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Nothing we say is gonna convince you if you weren't already gonna see it.
Oh no, it's dropped to 7.9
7.9 out of 10 on IMDb. But yeah, so next Marvel movie, Infinity War. I will be impressed if it's not just a complete Charlie Foxtrot.
Yeah,
all those characters.
With all those characters, I'd be surprised if it's not just a total mess.
They're gonna have to treat groups of characters as individual characters. It's the only way I see that the writing being followable.
Yeah,
you're gonna have. You're gonna have like the Guardians and Thor doing their thing. You're gonna have.
I mean, it's the Russo brothers, right?
Yes. You're gonna have Cap and his guys. The ones he broke out of prison at the end of Civil War as one group. You're going to have the current Avengers as another. And I just don't see them being able to handle that many characters any other way.
Yeah, it is the risk. And they've proven to be, pretty good. Their Marvel movies are definitely in my favorites list.
Yeah.
So... yeah, I think they might be able to pull it off, but yeah, on the same token, I would be very impressed to see them pull it off. Because I mean, the failing of most superhero movies is always too big a cast. There's too many villains, or there's too many heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, like all the worst things you hear about, like the old the '90s Batman movies. Is always that there's, other than the nipple suits, is always that there's too many villains in a movie. Same thing with the Sam Raimi, the
third
Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Well, I guess that was the only Spider-Man
with multiple villains
that got to 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it got to 3. Yeah, they were just...
yeah, so Spider-Man 3. Don't even have to clarify it.
Yeah.
And so...
part of that is I don't think he wanted to have Venom in the movie. Because Venom was handled so poorly.
Yeah. But
anyway.
Yeah, so I'll be very impressed if they manage to pull that off well. We'll see.
Yep.
So coming up next week's not a whole lot coming out. Is that Natalie Portman movie with the uncomfortable noise in the trailer?
Yeah.
But the week after that, is Red Sparrow.
Yeah. Oh, and
Death Wish.
Death Wish. Oh.
Death Wish is pretty damn short.
Yeah, well.
And then Gringos the week after that.
That looks good.
It does. We are not seeing the hurricane heist.
No. That was the worst trailer.
It looks like a Sci-Fi Channel original movie. And then the week after that, Tomb Raider and 7 Days in... can never pronounce the... Entebbe, the capital of Uganda. Right? Is that right? Uganda?
Could be.
I think it's Uganda. And then Pac Rim Uprising, and Isle of... Oh, there's so many movies coming out in March. Oh, man. Jeez, there's so many movies in March. And then Ready Player One. Yeah, we've got movies all month long, Nolan.
Yep.
And Tibby.
Oh, and don't forget Sherlock Gnomes.
Unfortunately, I can't.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't see Sherlock Gnomes if you paid me.
There's an amount of money someone could pay you to
Okay,
see that
there is
movie.
an amount of money, but if you were to like say, "Hey, here's a free ticket to Sherlock Gnomes," I would not go.
Yeah.
But I'd probably see it for $100. It looks really god awful, but
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what we got coming up. I think we'll be back to live streaming on the Sundays. I don't think we're out of town anytime in March, are we? I don't think I am.
no, I don't think so.
So, our streaming's over on Twitch, twitch.tv/everything_is_bad, and come back maybe in 2 weeks. I could see us not reviewing next week. There's just not a whole hell of a lot to give a damn about next week. But we'll definitely be back for Red Sparrow and probably Death Wish.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. So until next time, thanks for listening. Toodaloo.
Bye.